In the middle of the 20th century, American society witnessed an incredible achievement: humans landed on the moon for the first time. But over time, conspiracy theories have emerged, which became part of the cultural discourse and caused concern for some. One of the most famous theories claims that the lunar landings were faked by the US government for the sake of political propaganda. According to this theory, the Apollo missions were a hoax, and their filming took place in secret studios. Conspirators point to a number of anomalies in the lunar photographs to support their theory. For example, they pay attention to the shadow cast by the flag on the moon, claiming that it should be parallel to the surface. However, observing angular additions, photographers and physicists explain this phenomenon as a result of the peculiarities of lighting and gravity on the moon. Proponents of the conspiracy theory raise the question of why there are no visible stars in the photographs from the moon. They argue that in reality stars should have been visible due to the absence of atmosphere on the moon. Nevertheless, astronomers explain this phenomenon by the fact that short exposures and large apertures were used on the photographs to capture the light from the moon and the astronauts, which made the stars too dim to be fixed on the photographs. The specifics of the design of the American flag, located on the moon, also becomes the object of attention. Conspirators claim that the flag would not flutter, as there is no atmosphere on the moon. Scientists, in turn, explain this effect by the fact that the astronauts used a tube to hold it in a vertical position when planting the flag, and the vibrations were caused by this action. Some conspiracy theories claim that the data on the flight trajectory and interaction with radiation on the moon do not correspond to what was officially presented. However, such claims were destroyed by experts who conducted detailed analysis of the data of the Apollo missions. There are also theories based on the identified anomalies in the lunar photographs. Observers claim that strange shadows and inconsistencies in lighting indicate the falsification of the landing moment. In addition to the arguments related to the photographs, there are other conspiracy theories that concern the technical aspects of the Apollo missions. Here are some examples. Conspirators claim that the technological level in the late 1960s did not allow for such complex space missions. They point to the limited computing power, radiation conditions in the Van Allen belts and lack of experience in space landings. They often raise the question of how the astronauts could survive in the conditions of high radiation on the moon without protection from the Earth's atmosphere. Scientists point out that the missions were planned to minimize the impact of radiation, and the space suit also provided some protection. Some argue that in the conditions of insufficient development of space communications, it would be impossible to maintain constant communication with the astronauts on the moon. However, using carefully planned communication sessions and antennas on Earth, NASA ensured stable communication with the crew on the moon. Some theories assume that the technologies of that time did not allow to successfully return from the moon to Earth. However, NASA engineers carefully calculated each stage of the mission, and the return procedure was planned using a gravitational maneuver and accurate calculations of the trajectory. All these aspects have been carefully studied and refuted by the scientific community, but conspiracy theories find their supporters. Referring to various aspects of the technical complexity of the Apollo missions. It is worth noting that the scientific community does not recognize these theories, providing extensive evidence of the success of the lunar missions. However, disputes and discussions continue, fueled by doubts and questions.